Get on the floor! Do it now!
The Special Constabulary is the nation's volunteer police force.
Do you know the gent?
What's your speed?
It's made up of over 20,000 members of the public.
Oh, he's gone down there.
Who give their time to fight crime in their communities.
Out! Get out of the car! Get out of the car!
Specials combine their day jobs
Stage, please!
and home lives
Here's a good boy.
with being serving police officers on the front line. Coming up, Chris is hot on the trail of a burglar as he stakes out a stolen car.
You've got to keep your eyes on the ball all the time, ready to pounce.
Alex arrests a drunk man keen to show off his moves.
In custody started to make us very nervous because I don't want to be clobbed around the face.
Don't mess around, OK? Because we need to get this done.
And Louisa helps the victims of an incident involving a camper van and a car.
When I get a call, I'm always wondering, is this one going to be more serious than the last one? What are we going to find when we get there?
As a special constable, Chris Hallett is usually on regular patrol reacting to 999 calls and assisting members of the public. But this shift is different.
Tonight's operation is Optica.
Chris has been seconded to the Impact Team, a unit which focuses on prolific criminals tackling crimes such as car theft and burglary.
We've had a burglary overnight. During that, as a front door left unlocked, a handbag has taken, as well as a car. If we see any of these vehicles out and about, we give the early heads up to each other. If we see them parked up, then we can obviously get round there and set up on them.
I was excited to go out with the Impact Team. I hadn't worked with any of the officers on the Impact Team before, but something that I've always wanted to do and try.
Keen to impress, Chris must familiarise himself with a unit who pride themselves on intelligence-based policing. And remember operation details such as names of suspects, number plates and shoe prints.
That is what we're looking for the last couple of burglaries.
Right, okay.
So that sort of footwear. If we see anyone out and about and we don't know with them on, then give them a quick stop search, see what's going on.
Tonight, the unit are searching for a stolen car which they believe is being used to commit burglaries on their patch. Chris has been paired up with regular officer PC Paul Dowling. An hour into the shift, and there's good news about the stolen car.
My colleagues have just found it, stationary and unattended.
We'll go and have a quick look, see where it is, see if it's going to be linked to any of our nominals, and then we'll probably get it recovered.
The car is their only link to the suspects, who they believe are using it to commit burglaries.
Tell me when you can see it.
Yep.
Right, you can see it.
And although it will soon be recovered, the Impact Team won't waste an opportunity to catch the suspects if they come back to the car.
So basically what we need to do is recover that vehicle, but we're going to sit up for a little while to see if anyone goes to it. And if anyone goes to it, then they'll be arrested.
Hopefully it'll be one of our lads. It's very close to a lot of the home addresses of the people we monitor, so there's potential that it could be involved with them. It's just a waiting game, really.
There's another unmarked car in the area, as well as a plainclothes officer on foot. All eyes are on the stolen car.
I've never been involved in a stakeout before. You've got to keep your eyes on the ball all the time. I was feeling tense, excited. Yeah, adrenaline was going, ready to pounce, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The slow pace of tonight's operation is in contrast to Chris's usual duties as a special.
The shifts that I would do is basically what we would call reactive. So someone dials 999, need a police officer quickly, and then you would react to that. My normal duties as a special would be foot patrols, arresting people, helping with events and operations that go on. I normally tend to follow a particular shift and normally try to stick to the weekends.
When he's not volunteering, Chris can be found doing his day job as site manager at a police training station, catching up with his family, or getting into shape at the gym. Like all specials, managing his time is a challenge, but Chris wouldn't have it any other way.
You only live once, you're only young once. I'd rather further my sort of skill set and sort of move forward in life rather than get drunk and wasted money down the pub, basically.
Back with the impact team, and the officers are still watching the stolen car parked yards away. At last, after waiting for an hour and a half, someone is approaching the car.
Pricey, who's just gone to that vehicle?
So as not to arouse suspicion, our camera must stay away from the window.
He's in the boot, he's in the boot. Yeah.
There was a young lad walked up to the vehicle, walked around the vehicle, opened the boot and pulled out a jerry can.
He's running off.
He just took something out of the boot.
Papa in your 29 to PC Price.
We're walking past that tree up there towards him.
Someone has just gone up to that car, done a whole circle of it, gone in the boot and then legged it from towards you.
We updated the other officers down the other end of the street that we'd just seen this, and those officers followed that offender to a petrol station.
Now there's two ways this could go. They could either go and fill up with fuel and take that car, or come back and burn that car out to get rid of any forensics. We've had intelligence from last night that it was used in Leicestershire to try and take cars through, or car keys through a letterbox.
The suspect with the jerry can is being followed covertly by an officer on foot.
Where are they going now? It's definitely them then, isn't it?
The officer on foot has confirmed the suspect is a convicted burglar who has broken his curfew.
We had heard over the radio that there was actually two offenders coming back to the vehicle. I thought, brilliant, we're going to catch someone here. We're going to catch the people that have stolen this vehicle.
Yeah, if you can keep your eye out, there'll probably be potential for that car to move very shortly.
The next thing we heard over the radio was one of the other officers shout for some assistance.
You hear that? Right, we're en route.
The officer on foot stopped the suspects just yards away from the car.
Getting nicked.
Keep your hands up, mate.
What have I done? Can you tell me what I've done now? No, because I'm getting nicked for nothing.
Listen, mate, keep your wind your neck in a little bit. Don't be swearing, all right?
Well, tell me what I've done.
These two lads were extremely angry about being arrested. They were denying everything.
The two suspects were arrested. One was charged with burglary and theft, and attempted burglary with intent to steal. He pleaded guilty and was sentenced to a 12-month referral order, a supervision order, and a curfew. The other was released with no further action, and the stolen car was returned to its owner. For Chris, his first night with the impact team couldn't have gone any better.
Policing is about keeping people safe in their own homes, stopping antisocial behaviour, sort of targeting prolific offenders. And I come away feeling very, very satisfied with what we'd achieved that night.
Specials are unpaid volunteers who work alone or alongside the regular police to fight crime in their communities.
We got all of them! I don't want to see you walking on the main road again. Come on. Recovery's obviously en route.
Specials are not police community support officers. They're fully fledged members of the police force who have the same powers in law as their paid colleagues, including the power of arrest.
Nice.
Move over.
No.
Move out of the way.
No.
Within many special constabularies, officers can rise through the ranks, from constable all the way to chief specials officer.
Ouch, I found a thorn. Let me remind you, you're under arrest, and anything you say will be written down.
Specials work 16 hours a month or more as volunteers and undertake all kinds of duties, from policing community events to arresting hardened criminals. "22-year-old Special Constable Alex Willett has been volunteering in the Special Constabulary for over 3 years.
You have to be flexible, and I think your friends and your family have to understand that as well. Maybe Papa Tango 89. You don't come off at 10 p.m. every time, you could be on till 2 in the morning. It's when the job finishes, is when the job's done.
For many volunteers, being a special is an insight into a whole new world of police work.
Can I take a date of birth, if that's okay?
But for Alex, it's something he's already familiar with.
My day job, I'm a dispatcher for the control room. I answer and dispatch officers to jobs. So that's anything from 909 calls to incidents whereby PCSOs can go unattended and things like that. So there's a wide range of jobs there.
So, what, the child said Mummy's sick upstairs? OK, we're on our way.
I think the two go very hand in hand. You know what it's like from both ends.
You're going to do CPR for me?
When it comes to a choice between a shift behind a desk or one out on the beat, there's no competition.
I do enjoy my day job, don't get me wrong, but I think being on the streets, that's where the fun is.
Tonight, Alex has teamed up with fellow Special Constable Ashley Hicks. The pair are out on patrol in Peterborough when they receive a call about a drunk man causing a disturbance at a house.
The call to control room came through as a male banging on the back door of the property, and we were told that he could have been quite violent and quite drunk. From what the dispatcher told me, I think he'd been around there 3 times before harassing her, so we were sent to deal with it.
All right, it's police.
The woman who made the complaint knows the man. He's now left the area, and although he hasn't hurt her, he has tried to get into her house several times and is extremely drunk.
When we're there, you've got 2 mindsets. Your first one's with the victim, and your second mindset is, where is this guy? He's potentially violent and quite nasty, and you're trying to get to her. Your priority with anything like that is to find out where the danger is, where the problem is, and get to that first, because that's potential to go wrong.
If he's out there on the street and he isn't going to go anywhere back to home, then he'll come in for breach of the peace, because I've got belief to concern that he's going to come back here and cause more harassment to yourself. Then we'll do that if necessary.
Once we got back out in the car, the control room shouted us up and said there'd been another call about 2 miles down the street. A drunk male, matching the description from our job, was now knocking on someone else's door, causing problems. So we've gone to that address.
When they arrive at the area where the suspect is reported to be, they come face to face with him on his bike.
You're not going anywhere, mate, at the moment. Just need to have a chat with you.
Sure. What?
Come here. Not going anywhere for the minute. All right, we'll have a chat with you for a minute. So just come in.
Well, I've tried to take him over to one side to try and talk to him.
Go in front of the car. You know what? Actually, get in front of the car.
What's wrong?
Get in front of the car.
What is wrong?
As I took hold of him, I felt his arm tense up. And I think you get that from training. You know when you're going to have a problem.
What have I done?
You've been at 3 addresses tonight whereby you've been alleged to have gone to places the last 3 hours.
No, please.
He has to start to struggle once on the car, and he's incredibly strong. It actually took me by surprise.
The suspect is resisting arrest, and Alex calls for backup to help take him into custody.
BB, Papa Tango 89, van on the hurry up.
Listen, you
On the floor.
Alex puts the man on the floor to gain control, but he's still resisting and tries to grab Alex's radio.
Get off my radio.
He's not been cuffed still, and he managed to get his arms in front of him again, so he's clearly not wanting to be arrested. The next level up of appropriate force is to deploy what we call PAVA, which is almost like a pepper spray.
What's the problem?
PAVA deployed.
Alex sprays PAVA to gain control of the suspect, but it's powerful stuff.
People describe it as having a hot burning needle in your eye. From experience of having it in training and having the backlash of it, that's true, plus more. People may think it's really violent and it looks bad, but I don't know this guy from anyone else. I don't know what he's capable of. And when he's in that state, he is incredibly strong and he's not willing to reason with you. So under the circumstances, it was appropriate to do what we did.
Yeah, we've got one cuff on. Yeah, male cuff.
The custody van arrives to take the man back to the station.
Preserve peace.
Give them the words.
God,
We're under arrest for breach of the peace.
oh yeah. What
You don't
for
have to
the?
say anything, but in my own defence, we do not mention in question.
Breach of your arrest has been fed to the all right?
You are.
And we're going to put leg restraints on
You
you.
are.
We had to use leg restraints. He was still kicking out with the legs. It's designed to stop them from kicking out, really. And we can control them a lot better going into custody with them on.
Who the freak you are?
Like all specials, Alex has been trained how to handle prisoners. But that doesn't mean it's always an easy job.
Careful, guys, careful.
My main priority is getting him in that van and getting him in that van safely, without anyone getting hurt, really. What he says and what his views are irrelevant to me, I'm not bothered.
Bend your knees. Your knees.
When they reach the station, the officers will face the challenge of putting the man into a cell.
He's going to be running the welcome party.
We have what we call a welcome party, which comes to the doors in custody, which is another amount of officers that help us because they're likely to kick off there as they are everywhere else, really. I think the amount of officers he sees is going to say, well, game's up, isn't it, really? You're not going to win.
Just careful.
But any plans to cause trouble seem to disappear when he sees the officer booking him in.
He took a liking to the custody sergeant, that was quite clear, which I think helped.
Do you understand why you've been arrested?
I don't know, no.
You don't understand why you've been arrested?
You're beautiful, no?
Thank you very much.
Can you take that off then, please?
Are you going to behave yourself if we take those off?
Oh, of course. Of course.
Honestly?
Of course.
There's lots of officers here.
You
mess around.
You're a beautiful woman, please.
Okay.
You know you're beautiful.
Right, lift your hands up a bit.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Yeah. Well,
So keep calm for me, put your hands on the desk, all right?
Alex is doing all he can to keep him under control.
Are you employed? Do you have a job at the moment?
Employed, yeah.
But the man is keen to impress the sergeant with his moves.
We need to get this done, right?
The other officers are not impressed.
In custody started to make us very nervous because I don't want to be clobbered around the face.
Don't mess around, okay? We need to get this done.
So he kept doing this move and kept going around like that. And we were trying to talk to him, trying to keep him calm and get his details booked in so he can be dealt with safely in custody. But at the same time, he's not far off being restrained again because I think in the fear that he's going to lump him all.
How much have you had to drink, do you think, in the last sort of 24 hours? How much do you think you've had?
The man appears intoxicated, and as a special who often works late night shifts, Alex is all too familiar with the effects of alcohol.
When I started, it used to shock me what you used to see, because I've been out, I'll go out with my mates, have some drinks, have a laugh, but people can be incredibly violent when they're drunk, and they can do some incredibly dangerous things.
I'm not drinking, really.
Do you mind if we take a specimen of breath, just to see how much alcohol's in your system at the moment, in your breath? So then we can get an idea of sort of where we are.
Do that.
Keep going, that's it.
The breathalyzer shows the man is 3.5 times over the drink drive limit, so the sergeant decides he's too drunk to answer her questions at the moment.
I think the best thing to do is perhaps pop you in your cell with a drink and let you have a bit of a sleep and see if we can sleep some of this alcohol off.
Right, follow the...
Come on. Come on.
He's taken to the cells to sleep it off.
He was put behind bars for the night, which is what he deserved. The victims had a good night's sleep because he knew where he was.
Mind yourself.
As a special, Alex has done his bit tonight to keep control of the situation.
Specials, they are an integral part of policing, and I'd like to think we are relied upon. We are police officers just like the regulars, and we go to the jobs and deal with them, and I think sometimes we are the thin blue line, if you like. We are the last ones out there.
After a good night's sleep, the man was no longer considered to be breaching the peace and was released without charge.
We'll have a chat in a little bit. All right? All right. All right then.
Despite massive increases in traffic, Great Britain has one of the best road safety records in the world, with around 3,500 fewer deaths per year than in the 1980s. Louisa Bellis has been a special for 1.5 years.
Is he named on the policy?
Laying down the highway law might not appeal to everyone, but Louisa's role in the roads policing unit couldn't suit her more.
I really don't know where to come from. I just really enjoy anything traffic related, anything car related. I've given out more tickets than some of the full-time officers have given out in their full careers. So Being an RPU special is exactly what I've wanted since before I started training. There are signs that it's actually even a 30 zone now.
The reason I've stopped you today is because of your speed.
Tonight, Louisa is out on patrol with regular officer PC Stuart Hilton.
And your speed has been monitored at 42 miles an hour.
A call has come over the radio of a road traffic collision on a dark country road.
There is a mobile home that has been involved in an RTC just on the border between Cambs and Herts. So there's apparently a woman with chest pains, so we're going to have to go make sure that everything's safe and she's okay. For me personally, when I get a call, I'm always wondering, is this one going to be more serious than the last one? What are we going to find when we get there? There's always that element that somebody may have died. I've been quite fortunate that I've not been on a fatal job yet, but doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And yeah, I do get a little bit nervous and wondering what we're going to find when we get there.
Louisa's role as a traffic cop is a world away from her life as a PhD qualified scientist.
For my day job, I'm the chemical content curator for a drug discovery database which is hosted on the internet. And in layman's terms, what that means is I'm a glorified librarian who looks after 1.6 million drug molecules. I became a special because I've always wanted to work in the police in some way. Being special allows me to get the best of both worlds. I get to be a scientist by day and I get to be a police officer at night. It's something completely different, and I do feel as though I use the different side of my brain. I use the more reactive side of my brain rather than the very sort of processed, librarian, geeky side of my brain. I think specials are just very important because they are people who aren't doing it because they have to, because it's their job. They're doing it because they want to and they want to be there.
Back on the road, Louisa and Stuart have been updated on the road traffic collision on a country lane.
The information that came over the radio was that a car had been seen to drive into a hedge and possibly a mobile home had been involved in the collision, but that was all we knew.
When they arrive, they are met by the owner of the mobile home, which was involved in the accident.
Hello.
Hello. Through there's a gap in the hedge where she's gone through.
Where is she? Is she in the car?
No, well, she was, but she's got chest pains and she wanted to get out so she could breathe a bit better. So I helped her out of her car. She's all right, she's walking, she's got a bit of pain in her chest.
Stuart immediately goes to speak to the other driver, while Louisa contacts the ambulance service, who are already on their way.
Meldriff, can I just confirm that an ambulance is en route? The informant said that he has called for one. In this situation, the priority is the health of the driver who had been involved in the RTC.
First thing is to get you to the ambulance to make sure you're all right. Do you suffer any existing illnesses? Any heart issues?
Not heart, no.
Because the gent said you had
I've got a bad back.
Poor chest. You've got a bit of a sore.
Asthma. I've got the seatbelt.
Yeah. The first shock.
Yeah.
Hits you. And have you got your inhaler with you?
Yeah. In my bag somewhere. I don't know what to do.
No.
I've never had.
Which way were you going?
I was coming this way, and he reversed out, and so I swerved to avoid him. If I seem to lose control.
The driver says she swerved to avoid the camper van as it reversed out of the field. She lost control and went through the hedge. The owner of the camper van gave a different version of events.
He told me what had happened in his terms. He'd stopped his vehicle, got out to move the gate, to open the gate, so he could then drive through to where he worked and then close the gate behind him.
That's when it all must have happened, but I was oblivious to it. I came in, did a big sweeping circle, and before I knew it, well, the car had appeared in the field. I hadn't seen her come through the hedge. I really, not too sure what happened there.
So she's saying that there's something reversing out of here, which has caused her to swerve out of the way and end up in the hedge.
But I pulled in, come that way, pulled into here, stopped, jumped out, opened the gate.
You weren't reversing then?
No.
She's obviously thought you were reversing and has thought, oh, he's coming into my lane, and so she swerved around you and gone off into there.
Louisa and Stuart's job as police officers is to try and get to the bottom of what happened and to assess whether an offence has been committed.
It's about perceptions, it's about what people believe may have happened, may not have happened. So it's important for you to get each version and then use your own judgment.
The woman has been assessed by the paramedics and has no serious injuries. She gives Louisa a statement and is sticking to her side of the story.
Just come off the dual carriageway.
Okay.
Coming along.
Okay.
The caravan thing was reversing out.
Yep.
So I put my brakes on, but I knew I wouldn't stop in time. And I lost control. It's the only way I can describe it. And I knew I was going into the hedge and I couldn't do anything about it.
Despite the differing accounts, Stuart and Louisa are happy that no offence has been committed.
There will be no further action with this incident with regard to the police. We've let them swap insurance details. It's up to the insurance companies now. From what I saw, it was a complete accident on both parts, and there is no need for us to be involved any further.
A tow truck arrives to pick up the car, which was declared a write-off. Fortunately, the woman is well enough to be taken home by a friend.
At the end of the day, everyone was safe and well, everyone's still healthy, and they all got to go home. Yes, the car was written off, but cars can be replaced, and overall it was a job well done.
Keep going. How do you?
Being a specialist in this sort of situation, it's not that I'm amazing or fantastic. The fact that I'm there when Stuart would normally be single crewed at that time meant that we could do the job a lot faster, we could get everyone on their way quicker. I think that specials are an integral part of the police force, and I think they can only do good things, and if more people want to join, they should join.